20. Good morning and welcome to episode 26. It has been a morning already. Welcome everybody. January, at the time of recording, January 9th. It is a beautiful sunny day here in the west side of Michigan.
It's a beautiful, somewhat sunny day on the mid-Michigan.
Yeah, it's nice out. Above freezing all week. 40s, upper 40s, even in the forecast. It's a good week, man.
How's that snow removal going?
I haven't had snow in a week.
Wow.
It was gone. It was almost all gone last Monday. So
Okay.
it's definitely gone now. I'm shopping around for bulk rock for my pad. So hopefully I can get that delivered this week once the ground warms up a little bit. It's a little firm right now, which is fine, but yeah, once it warms up a little bit, I think it'll soften back up and allow me to get the rock down. But
Good.
yeah, anyways, how was your week, bud?
I probably had the easiest catering gig on Friday.
Those are nice.
They're all coming. I always wonder where they heard my name from or PB&J's from. So ended up being they had visited the food truck once and I was recommended. So it's always good to know. We did 7 hot buffet setup and then 2 cold ones. We did pulled pork, chicken, 3 full pans of mac and cheese. They told me 115, 120 people, so I wanted to make sure they didn't run out. And 2 pans of coleslaw. Had to find extra tables because there was a lot of food. And then I had asked that, so I use, as I've told everybody, I use Square as my business bank account. And I didn't know until the other day that they actually offer mobile check deposit.
Cool.
Which I tried 5 times to mobile check deposit, and all 5 times it rejected it for some unknown reason. It says that the amount on the check did not match the amount that I put in, which, I mean, it's the same amount, whatever. So I did ask in the beginning, if you're going to make a check out, just make it out to me so I can take it to my bank and just have it redone. And of course they didn't do that. So I sent them the, I hate to be that guy email and asked if they could recut a check because for some reason this one just isn't depositing.
Have you banked there for a long time at your bank, like your regular bank?
My bank, yes, but I've
They
asked
know
them.
you and everything?
They do know me, yes.
And they won't do a check to the business for you?
No. Not unless I have
Wow.
a business account. Not unless I have a business account.
So yeah, because we went through it all with competition barbecue. Occasionally we get a check made out to Sweet Rex instead of us for prize money or whatever. I never had a problem. Only if I went to a branch that wasn't the one that I regularly went to. Like anybody that knew me, like, yep, no problem. Or mobile deposit. I never had a problem with mobile deposit with it.
So for comps, I never had a problem mobile depositing. Which I may try it, but I don't know. I'll wait to see what they respond. But
maybe your camera was just dirty and it had a hard time. The picture was a little blurry or something.
Tried 3 different ways.
Huh. That sucks.
iPad, phone, wife's phone. Yeah. So anyway, it was a good catering gig. It was at I passed out some business cards. I got to hook up with the local, our local version of Michigan Theater, which is just a big concert venue and movie screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped another competition team out Saturday with a funeral catering, or not catering for a funeral, but the after. I don't know. Is it called an after party? Like, I mean, what's the after part of a funeral? I'm thinking
Lunch. It's called lunch.
Is it just a lunch? Okay.
Yes.
So they contacted him like 2 days before, and it seems like 3 other.
It'd be nice if these people plan these things out further in advance.
Right. He originally said no. Then they reached out to a local barbecue restaurant here in Jackson, and they never got back to him, or they took less or more than a day to get back to him. So I helped unload. I helped go to the store, anything they needed. So that was pretty much my Saturday. And I sourced some fairs and festivals and such and that could be a topic for someday, but a 2-day festival in a bit to do town, well off town, I would say, $2,200
For one day? How many days?
2 days, $2,200. And it's right downtown, and there happens to be a barbecue restaurant downtown, so I think I'm probably going to skip that one. But $2,200, and that's not the first one that I saw with over $2,000 worth of fees. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
We'll see what kind of time we have after. We have a special guest today, Steve. I want to say it's Siege.
That's what I was going to say.
Which sounds like a porn name. But
actually, first, I don't know what's in your mind. The first thing I thought was Under Siege, the movie.
Well, so yeah, we'll see how much time we have after we talk to him a little bit today. To touch that, and it'd be a good one to talk about festivals in general and what we're seeing so far. I did get a rejection letter from an application for the first time ever for Grand Rapids Foodie Fest.
Really?
Grand Rapids, yep. Because our trailer was too heavy. And I've heard other people have that problem with where they're holding it in Calder Plaza. So it's up on it's on a poured slab where there's a sculptures and everything. It is not meant for vehicles.
Gotcha.
It is not road grade. It is pedestrian grade concrete. So
wow.
The depths are different. So their max is, I think, 6,000 pounds, and we are over that. That trailer is heavy. So,
wow, it's amazing. But choose to have it at a place that really can't accommodate, I guess, every type of.
Yeah. So it sucks, but and that was a big one. That was a 3-day or the weekend before 4th of July. So
yeah,
we were hoping for that one. That would have been a good one for us. So we'll continue to search for something else that weekend. I have a couple other ideas for that weekend. So that'll be a little less crazy, but more our capability.
Good.
But other than that, the week was pretty good. We had a pretty decent sales week. Things kind of rebounded a little bit at all of our locations. Our slowest one was the medical building, but I think that was a miscommunication to staff, and they moved us. We weren't in the same spot in the parking lot that we have always been. So where we thought we'd probably have better visibility overall to the windows of the office side of the building. I think people were looking for us in the other spot, so didn't see us and maybe didn't come out. So I think that'll be fine going forward. But Wiseman Distillery, we rebounded there a little bit. Saw some people we haven't seen in a while. And then it was a decent week. Other than that, just kind of relaxing, getting caught up on stuff, and trying to book some shit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I see a goatee in our screens.
I see it eat. Steve, you might have
eyes.
Hi, guys.
Adjust the camera.
Where are you, buddy?
Too low?
Too low. Oh, there you go.
There's the whole head.
You got glasses. Okay. Means you can see.
Yeah, I am old.
Well.
Yeah, I've been wearing them since I was in 3rd grade. So.
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with
Need
being
to
blind.
find the volume.
It's interesting to see how the other people live.
So we welcome Steve Siege. Is that right? Is it Siege?
Siege.
Siege. Aha. Cool. I figured it was that, but you never know. Could be Siege. Siege. So we'll go with Siege. Steve is a former barbecuer. Did you restaurant, food truck before? Steve?
All of it.
All of it. And now you do what exactly? That's
a good question.
1 for 1.
I'm kind of I guess a food and beverage manager, troubleshooter kind of thing right now. Right now, my primary job is getting a food truck court going it opened last year. Kind of mediocre response with it, and I'm just trying to get it populated and rolling.
Why don't we talk, what's the name of your establishment?
It's called Drift
Where's it located?
Shoreside Beer Garden,
It's
That's in
located
Bay
where?
City,
Bay
right?
City, Michigan.
How far is Bay City from you, Bert?
Hour and 45, 2 hours ish.
Okay. Do we know anybody in that area?
Bubba, Hetzner. Bubba's kind of a little bit farther east,
Okay.
but a couple other ones. There's a couple other ones.
All you East Siders. So,
Hey.
so you're looking, Steve, you're looking to have food trucks there. So there's no food in the bar, right?
Correct. I have a commissary without it's got everything but a hood, so there's no cooking in there, but there's prep, freezer, cooler, sandwich table, dish room, 3-compartment sink, everything you would need to do to prep, but no, you can't do any batch cooking or anything like that.
Okay. And you're looking for, you said you wanted 2 trucks. You can stop me anytime. I'm sure Bert kind of, well, you probably didn't explain to you. My dog had a little accident this morning about an hour and a half ago. So I ran him to the vet real quick. So I'm not as prepared as I should be.
Everything okay?
He hurt his leg. He was out playing with my other dog and heard a yelp. They're corgis, so they're small and compact, and they usually play rough. But yeah, he yelped and then yelped 2 more times and wouldn't put any weight on his back leg. So he would let me touch it and everything without too much issue. So I don't know. I'm hoping he can just kind of tweak it a little bit, but ran him over there so he can have some x-rays and stuff. But yeah, anyways. So you're looking for 2 trucks with a 4-day commitment, right?
I have one.
Okay. So you need one more for another 4-day commitment? Is that what you're thinking?
When I first looked into this, I thought, from my experiences, I was always, the hardest part to do is to find a place to go and to set up. Right. And a place that has electric, gray water dump, commissary available, that would have been to me like almost like the Holy Grail. But not so much, I guess.
So what do you think? I mean, everything you're sounding sounds like a food trucker's dream, just to be honest with you. My first question would be, have you talked to the food trucks that have been there and gotten their feedback on everything, on how sales were, how asking for a 4-day commitment is kind of tough if maybe if sales aren't there, or
well, I say commitment, like it's not going to be like a penalty or anything if you have something
Correct.
else going on. I'm just trying to look for coverage, because one of the major complaints last year where people showed up and there was either one truck that we manned or none at all on some days. So
okay,
I'm looking for consistency, so people know when they come over, they've got food and beer. We got the beer. That's not the problem.
Yeah. If you were over on this side of the state, dude, I'm on a wait list for every bar pretty much in this area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's 3-4 bars that are consistently bringing in trucks every day of the week, and there's a wait list. Like I haven't been able to get in for 2 years.
Have you guys taken any look at the pictures of Drift?
Yeah, actually, I brought it up on Facebook right now.
We got a brand new boat dock on the Saginaw River, just a short trip from the bay. 3 slips right now. We're going to have another 2 for the boats. There's 2 decks plus a big lot, and we're going to do improvements on the lot. Shades an issue, but we're working on that. I think for me, like you said, from my experience, it would have been a dream to have a place like this to start with. But it seems to me like everybody's chasing a dime. They think there's a better something else somewhere else, and they chase it around. And some of the conversations I heard from you guys is like It's a hassle setting up, tearing down, moving to the next place. You don't know what's not necessarily all the time, but you could run into a dud and you spent that fuel to get there. And
True.
Yeah. I'm sure that happens. I mean, even with you guys, I mean, you get a crappy weather day or whatever, or just a weird Tuesday or whatever that nope, there's just no one coming for whatever unknown reason. And it happens. Yeah, I don't, maybe it's that 4 day. I mean, the way you have it worded as a 4 day commitment or whatever as a home base. Maybe
But I
that's
also,
scaring some people off,
it's also a
weird.
drop in though. I mean, you can book whatever days you want. I've got 2 places that can set up where the hookup goes right into the sewer, and they have the potable water and the electric. I have 6 spots, so you can just plug right in 4 other spots after the 2. So
Is there, I noticed, so looking through like Facebook photos, is your parking lot where everybody congregates / food trucks park, customer parking, things like that? Is it like an L shaped?
the parking lot's L shaped, but it's not. It's closed off at the road, so there's no parking in there other than for the trucks.
Okay,
And
so it's
parking's
trucks
along the road.
and then everybody's willing, or everybody's able to take their drinks from inside the bar and walk to food trucks with their drinks.
Correct. There's a fence that goes along the road, so that keeps it. Yep.
I know that's one thing I've heard from other food trucks that, if there's alcohol around, people have to sit and wait until they're done with their drink to go get food and then come back. Have you talked?
No, that's not the case at all.
Oh, that's good. And then that's going to help for sure. What do you think your challenge? I mean, is your challenge just, you think that people are just trying to chase a dime, or is, like I said, have you gotten feedback from the people that have been there?
The one that we got a commitment from, he's a local guy, and he sees the value of being someplace and building your business instead of chasing your business.
Is that
And
Gino's?
Gino's, yeah. And he sees his end goal as bricks and mortar. So he's trying to build up a customer base, and I think he's kind of got his stuff together. I would say some people, I used to do the festivals, and I used to chase around. I've done Reno, Nevada, the largest rib fest in the country. I know about chasing the dime and the big money, but I also know what it takes. The 8-day commitment to get out there, the $10,000 in travel to get out there, it takes a lot to make a lot.
It does, for sure. What's the Bay City food truck scene like?
Boy, without sticking my foot, some of them are really crappy. I mean, and they really don't have a chance in the long run. We have a joke. We have 4 restaurants and quite a few people in the culinary, higher end on the culinary, and opening a bag of Fritos and pouring some cheese in it. Cheese and chili doesn't make you you need a little bit more than that to me.
Yeah, understandable.
But there's plenty of trucks though, right?
I'd say there's about, so Saginaw, Bay City, Midland are pretty interchangeable. They're all 20 minutes between, and you guys know drives. You could be, depending on where you're at in Grand Rapids, 10 miles could be 45 minutes sometimes.
Right.
So it's an easy drive, even though it is 20 to 25 miles between the 3. I'd say about 25 trucks, 30 trucks within the three cities.
So yeah, a number of trucks isn't an issue. It's so strange. Yeah, because I mean,
what type of marketing
I'd
do
kill
you
for
do
that kind
for
of
the
stuff.
trucks that come? Sorry.
One more time.
What type of marketing do you do for the trucks that come?
just basically the social media, Facebook. We have, our restaurant group has some other means also. I would say everything gets shared between the 4 restaurants, and we've got a pretty good customer base between the 4, or they're pretty established restaurants.
Okay. So when food
Yeah.
trucks come, if you want a food truck to commit just to a date, just to a straight date, what are you doing for them to, I guess, I'm not going to say guarantee business is going to be available, but to ensure that they're, making the right choice to come to your establishment?
As far as like, what's the value added, like our entertainment and
No, I mean,
things like
I
that?
mean, if you have events, I mean, I have to assume that your busiest times are Fridays and Saturdays, like pretty much most breweries and most beer gardens, stuff like that. So if in the off days, like a Tuesday, are you, I guess, are you getting stats from other trucks on what their sales were to show potential new trucks? Here's what we did. Here's what this guy did on this day. And we should have that. Like, we'll promote you. We'll do whatever we can to get people here so you can feed them. I mean, I guess what's your problem?
Truthfully, we don't have enough of the history with that. What had happened is we opened late. We just got the construction done, and they had a young girl running it, and really didn't really know if she was a bartender, basically. Truck showed up. They wanted to charge too much. I think it was like $100 a day. And to me, I look at it in bricks and mortar, 30 days at $100. That's pretty good rent anywhere. Why rent a food truck spot when you could get the end goal is most of you guys' end goal is a restaurant. Am I wrong with that? Or now
It is on the table for sure.
now lately though, I can see with what we're looking at in the restaurant industry with servers and the price of labor going up, that the model might be switching.
Well, and you add on to that some record high real estate prices over on this side of the state. Yeah, right now a 2,000. I just walked by it the other night. It was downtown Grand Rapids. 2,000 square foot building, low floor building, ground floor building, was 11,000 a month for 2,000 square feet.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, it's without a build out, I imagine.
Oh yeah,
so.
it's a shell. There's nothing in it. No table, not even tables and counters. It's nothing. So
I would say if you're a startup and you're moving into a building and it doesn't already have equipment and set up to be a restaurant, you're a fool. Putting a build out in a building and you're crazy.
So yeah, that is a long term. I'd be fine having 5 trucks rolling around Grand Rapids too. So, but then again, I need a place to put 5 trucks because my wife told me I can't have them at my house. So.
Is your driveway getting full?
I'm allowed 2. I've negotiated for 2, but that's it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've had some problems parking my smoker in the driveway before too, and I know.
See, for me, it's some people invest in their 401k. I invest in smokers.
Good Lord.
I think you're better off.
Only if he keeps them. He buys them and then sells them 6 months later for a loss.
Whatever. Anyway, it's enough about me. Okay, so let me ask you this: when it comes to, do you think that really having a commissary, knowing that a lot of these food trucks do pretty much, I mean, they're supposed to do everything on the trailer, but we'll say pretty much everything on the trailer, and their menu is tailored around not having a commissary, that if you're pushing the commissary idea, you might be pushing too many people out because they don't know, they don't have to worry about it. It's not something that's a benefit to them.
I'd use it. 100%. I'd go in and do my dishes inside. Or if I had any vegetable prep or anything like that, I do it all inside. Skippy. it's I'm guessing a better air conditioned space, first of all.
For sure.
It's a single rack, but it's still, it gets the job
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can do dishes in my trailer. I don't want to. It's a small confined space, and it's easier to do them when
You
you're.
say it. It's a pain in
Huh?
the ass. It's a
It
pain in
is.
the ass.
But it's easier to do it in a kitchen. That and having a bathroom right next door to you or nearby to be able to go do that, and having some space. And for me, I would use it if someone offered me their kitchen to do dishes and stuff. 100% would take them up on that.
Now the trailer rental, the trailer that we had available for rent, I just put that up on the marketplace. I had 4,000 hits within 6 days.
It's a good time to sell a trailer.
Well, we're gonna rent it. We're gonna keep it on, and we're gonna help develop that business that's coming in there.
Cool.
So they're gonna have the benefit of the commissary, the trailer, and very low rent, and with all kinds of help.
So you kind of hit on it that they were charging $100 a day. Is that still in place? So it is $100 a day to show up.
No, I'm not charging $100.
You're not charging anything. Okay.
No,
I don't know
not
why you're
nor.
getting people.
Yeah.
So you kind of gave us some sales numbers, which I mean, I don't know about Skippy, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, especially in the bar world. What kind of foot traffic are you seeing? Like on average, on like an average Wednesday, how many people are coming through?
It's a downtown area. There is a lot of restaurants and bars as competition. But everybody always looks for variety also. I would think, and that I'm from the area, and I've actually had a bar and restaurant not too far away from the site. I don't think it's lacking in business. It's not festival size business every day, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, what do you, if you're going back to one of the questions I asked earlier with the trucks that have been there, have you polled them to see whether they're coming back or not?
Well, Geno's is one of the trucks that were there last year. There was 3 other kind of fairly regulars. I've reached out to them a couple of times, and they just don't seem too interested in what we have to offer, I guess.
Is there, okay, so first thing I would do, just based off of what you just said, is ask why.
Mm-hmm.
What? Because, and I'm not
I've
saying
done that. I've reached out and I said, what can we do to improve? Give me your feedback. And I guess
they're in hibernation mode still.
it's possible. Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing to do is what can, I've gone, the breweries and distilleries that I've gone to, there's one that I won't go back because of the location along with what they do to promote us. And I think that as food truck owners, we have to do our own promotion. But whenever we go somewhere, we do hope the promotion is there from the venue. It's we have to have it. And with that goes, I looked up you guys on Google Maps, and you guys have, it's a great spot right on the river. And so something tells me that your prime seasons are probably spring and summer, late spring, most all of summer. So what, I mean, if I was going to book to come up there, it would be something where I'd want to be up there June, July, August, maybe early September.
Well, it's funny you guys are telling me that like the 4th of July is kind of your slow times around that area.
4th of July
Bay City is just, you can walk across the river on boats during that week. We have one of the largest fireworks displays in the state. It's crazy. The ramp on 75 is full of cars trying to get into Bay City, backed up onto 75. It gets really, really busy there.
For me,
I've never been up there, so I don't know.
For me, it's
but I trust what you're saying.
Yeah.
Shit, I had something, Skippy, and I forgot all about.
Oh boy. Happens.
I
in
know.
old age.
Shut up. It's been a Monday. No, it was something good too. Naturally.
I'm sure that the trucks will come along. I just thought to myself it would be a whole lot easier to get people to come out than what it seems to be, you know. And maybe a lot of them got a bad taste last year.
So
But-
when did you start running it?
Well, I started with this restaurant group back in 19, and I
Okay.
opened a barbecue restaurant for them in Midland, Michigan, Molasses. Then COVID hit, and I got a nice offer to move down to Florida and open another barbecue restaurant in Pensacola Beach. And with the way Michigan was, I didn't even know if we were going to open back up in the near future. So went down to Florida, and I spent almost 3 years on Pensacola Beach running a barbecue restaurant there. And Florida's nice to visit. Not the greatest place to live. To me, you know, I'm a Michigander through and
I
through.
tell people it's where old people go to die.
Well, I'm old, but not quite there yet.
Okay, really old people. How about that?
Steve,
So I
are you a
started talking
member?
what's I'm sorry.
Are you a member of the Michigan Food Trucks and Catering group on Facebook?
I'm on a couple of them. I'm not there.
I think I've seen posts from your establishment, but I don't know if I've seen posts by you on that Facebook group. But it's
Okay.
Michigan Food Trucks and Catering. There's also, there's Macomb County Food Trucks. There's, the Eastern Michigan, there's Detroit Food Scene, Eastern Michigan Food Scene.
Yeah, I didn't. For some of the reasons you guys bring up on your cast all the time is the travel and I really, you know, to me, if I'm going to travel that far to do an event, it's going to be a larger event. It's going to be a festival.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
No, honestly, you'd be surprised because there are. So I'm in Jackson. You know where Jackson is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my travel distance is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half for the right spot. So I typically will go to I do a lot of subdivisions. I'm part of a group that books people for subdivisions.
And that's really new to me. That's a you know, back when I was doing it, we didn't call it food trucks. We call it roadside vending because that's really what you did is you opened up on the side of the road,
and
especially for barbecue. Yeah.
Once COVID hit and people couldn't go anywhere, there were really, you can ask Josh because he opened up basically during COVID. There wasn't many rules for food trucks. It was the rules for restaurants, and you're up a creek without a paddle because you can't open, but food trucks could still open. So there was a lot of them just traveling to subdivisions to feed people, and now it's probably lighter business.
Sure.
My goal for anytime I go out is 50 orders. Like that's what I want, and 50 orders for me is a decent day. And I think that's.
So when you say a day though, you guys split your days in two sections though, don't you?
I do. Skippy hasn't. Well,
So I was doing
much.
when I was doing subdivisions only, most of my week was cooking in the morning and serving in the evening. So it was like 4:30 to 7:30, 5 to 8, somewhere around there. That was my hot time, and I go to breweries and be there from 4 to 8, even on Saturdays and Sundays or Fridays and Saturdays. This year I'm going to change it up a little bit and offer more lunch services. But yeah, I think there are people that do split it up into two sections, and I think that's what you personally I think want to hit, because I assume you have to have a happy hour, and you have to have. Now Josh works with a brewery during lunch services, but there's a lot of foot traffic around that brewery, if I'm not mistaken, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's set inside of a business park. So it's pretty much a distillery that has all their bottling operations out of this business park, and then they put in a tasting room. So we set up there. They're only open for half the time that we were set up for lunch. They don't even open until noon. But we go in for lunch because the business park is so busy. And that's where all our business comes from. Um, a couple people will go inside, but and then yeah, we depending on the day, we'll stay there for the evening and stay there until 7 o'clock. But they've been struggling to keep people inside the tasting room. So that's a whole different issue. But yeah, for me, it's split service every day, or at least most days. So we'll do an 11 to 1 or 11 to 2 lunch, pack up, drive somewhere else, set up by 4, and go 4 to 7 somewhere else. It's worked for us.
So on an average day where you did a split service like that, and 100, when you're talking about an order, you're talking about a sandwich and a side. Is that where are you talking about tickets where you've got 3 or 4 orders on a ticket?
So yeah, I'll say 50 tickets. That's what I want when I go out. That's my goal every time.
So 50 individual orders.
Correct. 50 people paying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you did 100 in a day, moving.
That'd be a damn good day.
So if you did 75 and you didn't have to move for 2 4-hour services, that would be a good day.
That would be a good day too. Yeah, I think so.
I see on a Monday, if you can't do 75 orders at my place in 2 4-hour shifts, something's wrong with your truck.
But do you have lunch? I mean, do you have lunch people coming in for a cocktail?
I think if you're known to be there, yeah, we have people coming into the beer garden to drink. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think
people
a
come
lunch
in just for the food trucks, like during lunch.
Not because it's because it wasn't established.
Okay.
I think if you establish if the trucks want to do that split shift like that and open up for lunch and they're known to be there for lunch, I think there's no way you can't do 75 tickets in a whole day.
And people can get there without having to go through the bar and right. I mean, that's accessible outside.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I wish you weren't however far away you were from that.
Well, maybe we can arrange something where you guys do a long distance trip this summer, and maybe for the 4th, when you guys are slow, you can come up and do a big business.
I would consider it. 100%. Yeah, I would consider it. At least for a day. Traveling that far for multiple day service, especially with barbecue, gets a little bit trickier because we have so much stuff to haul and refrigerate and stuff. So, and for those of us that, we cook every day. Skippy and I both do. So it makes it a little bit harder. But
30 years.
Yeah.
So here's the other, and I just got stuff that pops in my head. So I call them squirrel moments. So I think the only other thing you might have is, okay, so when it comes to marketing, you may need to not rebrand, but remarket as far, and I'm probably making up words, they're not the right ones, but if you want people to, the food trucks to come, you might want to market as a beer garden / food truck court. Because if I see something like a food truck court, so there was a place in Ferndale called Detroit Fleet, and they have an open bar, and then they have one food truck that comes once a day, and they come from like 4 to 8 at night. From what I'm hearing from other people that have been there, they are packed to the gills just with the one food truck, but they market as it's a beer garden and food truck court. Have you thought about that, or do you think that makes some sense?
It does, and that's a really easy thing to. Are we still?
Yeah, I'm still here. Josh. Oh, sorry. No, my bad. For some reason, my video pops off every now and then.
No, and food, and I always describe it as a food truck court too. It hasn't been in the marketing materials yet, but I haven't done a lot on doing the promoting the trucks because I really don't know exactly what's going to be there yet. You know,
I mean,
right now,
if you got one guy that's going to be there all the time, so I haven't had the pleasure of eating at Geno's, but I've seen them post seen them post all the time. Their food looks amazing. I know they're building a brand for sure. The only other issue you may have is they do. If you're inviting trucks, don't invite a truck with obviously the same cuisine. So if they're doing big old cheesesteaks and things like that, it may limit other people. You might need to find, taco trucks or barbecue trucks or, something of that nature. Because if they're going to be there, then they have to realize that if you're bringing other trucks in, that it's going to take away from whatever business that they're thinking about too. And it's good that you're not charging them rent because, that's overhead that they wouldn't have to necessarily worry about.
well, I'm not saying I'm not charging them rent, but it's not nowhere close to $100.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's negligible if that, but I think that's
I mean, to me, it's when you guys run a generator all day, what are you spending? $30, $40?
I think we just
fuel
talked
on
about this
that?
on the last episode, didn't we? Or 2 episodes ago?
I think so.
Plugged in
Yeah.
versus. So for me, I am probably about $20 a day running the generator.
Yeah, I'm less at the moment. Like I'm probably $20 every 2 days because I was only doing 4-hour shifts. So,
But if you have a panel that you can plug into and run your whole trailer, that's
if you got a 50 amp service, that's is it 50 or 30? Because most trucks are going to run 50 amp services, and they have
Don't worry
to
about those weird ones. They got 3-phase.
Yeah, they got to cord down to a 30 amp. It may not run everything.
it's
My
the
truck's running 30.
big 3-prong plugins. I'm not an electrician, guys.
Oh, you're right.
My smoker was an extension cord.
You got power. Well,
Yeah.
We can figure it out from there.
Yeah.
You're right. I had 2 things again, and then Skippy keeps squirreling off on me.
Whatever.
When do you run your food truck season? So when are you looking to start food trucks?
Well, normally it's April 1st. We're looking at St. Patty's is really big in Bay City, and weather permitting, the bar will be open. If they want to open their trucks, or they'll be more than able to. So, I think the weather.
Other thought why maybe you're struggling right now to get confirmation is that festivals are going so hard right now. There are so many applications going out right now, that maybe they're trying to fill those other spaces of their schedule to see where they have openings versus scheduling and then having to cancel once a festival pops up that they wanted to go to. So I know that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going through the festival list in our areas.
So what are you guys looking at festivals are you looking at art shows?
For me, it's small festivals, just because of what we can handle. So yeah, Grand Rapids has Food Truck Fridays. We're going to try those this year, but even that's going to be a larger crowd than what we can handle. But yeah, so small to mid-town type festival. So yeah, arts and crafts, we do a vintage festival where it's arts and crafts fair with a car show and stuff like that and some live music. That kind of 1 to 2 day event for us is perfect, and we'll do really well for that. So right now that's what I'm focusing on. Our Fridays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday area right now is all being geared to that. I'm not even touching the rest of my week until I get all that firmed up. So at least that's how I start my year, when I start to book things and start to look out for things. I haven't talked to any of our businesses yet that we normally go to, because I just don't know where I can fit them in, and I don't want to have to schedule them and then cancel them, because a lot of them do regular food trucks for our lunches, like Spectrum Health or Core or whatever it is now. Yeah, they bring food trucks in all the time. They have 2-3 food trucks a week at their urgent care offices. So I'd rather not schedule and then cancel. I'd rather get that get the festival stuff, everything that I know that I can get on quickly, that, yeah, I'll get that done first. But so maybe that's part of the lack then, you know?
So from what you guys know of my place, dropping in and setting up, what do you think a reasonable? I'm not in the real estate business. I'm in the selling beer business, right? The trucks are value added to my property. So what do you for hooking up and being able to use, if you wanted to use the dish room, and you wanted to use the water service and the electric, what do you think a fair price for that is a day for a drop in?
So for a normal location for me that doesn't have most of that stuff, I'll top out at about 50. If it's more than 50, I'm not going. Even 50 is a little bit higher than I'd like to pay. Just because we were assuming all the risk for sales. So if I could go in and plug in, I could dump my water, I could get water, which I can do those things at my house, but being able to do it on site and not having to do extra work when I get home is a bonus. I mean, I'd go as high as 75 for the weekends. So maybe, I mean, yeah, maybe it's structured differently where it's a lower amount earlier in the week when most trucks, I mean, aren't running as much. And maybe that's how you can entice them in, is by a lower rate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then bump it up Thursday through Sunday. But yeah, I'd go 50 to 75 with the amenities, I think.
So being starting out on your side of the business, I never wanted anybody to know what I was doing. And you guys are very valiant for putting your numbers out there, because it's not normal. Right. So, and so percentages to me, because I never wanted anybody to know what I was making in a day. It was none of their business. Doing a percentage is something that I don't want to get into your business to know what my 10% or whatever I'm going to charge for that. So that's why I've really stayed away from percentages.
I run away from percentages. I don't like it. I think it's awful. And I think that it provides a bias against barbecue trucks. Because we have a higher ticket amount than like the hot dog guy who's doing $3 hot dogs versus, our pork sandwiches or pork by the pound or ribs or stuff like that. We may have the same number of transactions, but our sales are twice as high, but we're not making as much money. His margin's way bigger than ours. So that's why I always would prefer
a flat fee.
Yeah. Yep.
Much easier.
I'd agree with that, for what it's worth.
So if you don't mind asking, what are you charging a day? Or
well, I've worked out individual deals, right? Because so for Geno's, I want them to get established. I want them to build their business. To me, what they're paying is barely paying for what they're receiving, and it's more like a break even thing.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
I have the trailer rentals a little bit more because the trailer is involved. But it's still the same thing. I'm trying to establish a business there.
Let's tap into that. So you say you have a trailer rental. Is that so I'm on your website. Is that the Havana?
Yep, that's the Havana Bites.
Okay.
Yep.
So is anybody? Do you have staff serving under that, or is that strictly?
That's what
that wants to.
That's what we had. So we actually had it was a food trailer. It was a double setup, really. It was like a 30-foot trailer that had two food trucks in it. One was the original Havana Bites, and the other one was called Drift. And when we didn't have a lot of food trucks showing up to a food court, we had to do something else. And so we used our restaurant staff out of the various restaurants too. And really what happened was, when you have a restaurant staff, you don't really want to get rid of your stars to go man something that you don't. So wasn't the greatest staff in there, and I didn't think the menus were that spectacular either. And that's another hit that we took because the food wasn't that good. And when you have skin in the game, when it's your own place, you can't compete with that by staffing it from employees.
Sure.
And the hardest thing to do is get somebody to do what you can do. Right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have two girls that work with me. Luckily I got one that can make, everything the way I do. I know Josh doesn't like to give up the reins on his stuff at all, but
Hey,
it's no,
if I never
it's
step
no
foot on my
difference.
trailer again, I'd be a happy guy.
No difference in bricks and mortar.
Yep.
So I'm looking at your place on Google Maps again. So it was the former Black Pearl, is that right?
Correct.
So looking out front, and I think you might have mentioned this, but I just want to make sure. Has anything changed as far as from sidewalk to parking lot? It looks like from sidewalk, there's like a couple trees that are probably pretty small, but anybody that drives by where you have your food trucks parked is going to know that there's a food truck there no matter what, correct? They're not
Correct.
blocked. They're not.
Yeah, it's a short picket fence, not picket. It's a privacy fence, but it's only 3.5, 4 foot tall that goes around the parking lot.
Well, Skippy can't see over that.
There's a
Listen.
there's a gate there.
Are people parking on streets, or is there like?
Yeah, there's a parking lot to the side between our place in St. Lawrence, which is a candy store, and then there's street parking, and it's nowhere close to Grand Rapids parking. So,
do you think do you think that hurts you not having people being able to park in like at your establishment versus having to walk to it?
So I would like to be able to put some spots in there for takeout for the trucks, kind of like the curbside parking.
Yeah.
And it might work better on the side of the building than actually coming in through that little gate. And I think that's an accident waiting to happen there. Somebody getting run over, bumping somebody, but yeah, I would like to have. Matter of fact, we have our own delivery service in the plans because of the restaurants that are so close in that area, and the losing model of DoorDash. You can't. You're just turning money over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'd like to get a delivery service for our restaurants and the food trucks in that local area, just doing 3 or 4 or 5 miles, nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Sorry, I'm still going through Google Maps, kind of see what's around the area.
It's stalking you.
It's all right.
No, I mean, I like how I like where it is. I do see that there's a good number of places to eat, but not on the same street. I do see that there's actually a bunch of newer developments like condos and stuff like that.
There's the condos right next to us. That gives us like a 9 o'clock on the entertainment on weekdays and 10 on the weekends. There's the Jennison. That's another condo building. The boathouse so there's 3 developments on the river right there that are condos. Not to mention Mill End, which is about 2 blocks down. Winona Park, they have stuff going on there all the time. The Bay County Country Music Fest is pretty big there. Our restaurants are Tavern 101, which is about 3 blocks up.
Yeah, I see that.
Old City Hall is ours. And then M2, which was supposed to be Molasses 2, they tried to open that up when I went down to Florida. And it was supposed to be counter service barbecue, but they did a copy of a copy of a copy, and that didn't work too well.
I was looking at that menu. Is it still open?
M2, no, that there's about 45 seats in there, and the way restaurants go, it's almost too small right now. We're doing other things with it. We're doing some private. One thing we're doing this week, we're working on a cooking class. Some ladies approached us and they wanted to have a couple cocktails and learn how to cook a couple dishes and kind of a party atmosphere. And we're going to try it out as a kind of a run the balloon up and see how it goes. I've kicked around using that kitchen for ghost kitchens also. And then I get back to DoorDash and Uber. There's just, by the time you guys kick out your percentage, what are you making on that?
Yeah, no, for sure.
You're just keeping your staff busy is what you're doing on your slow times.
Right.
If that, in my opinion.
No, I agree. We have a lot of people ask us if we do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm barely making money as it is on a good day. And no, I'm not going to hand over another 20% to these guys. I mean, I know there's some people that will add on a service charge to any of their stuff like that, but yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand how people are so willing to do it when they're able to go out and get their own food. Pay $30 extra for a pizza sometimes on a Saturday night. It's just beyond me. But I don't know. Maybe it's just
some of those other guys have a little bit. Some of those other guys have a little bit better margins than us barbecue guys.
Yeah.
We're an uphill battle. I congratulate you guys for being open and doing it. For doing it as long as I have. It's always been a struggle for, if you're not good at what you're doing and using your product correctly, you're not going to be in business very long.
Which it amazes me how many are in business as long as they are, especially on the food truck side. It seems to be the most popular truck, that and tacos right now. But yeah,
can you love a taco?
What's that? Can
you love a taco?
I can love a taco.
You love doing barbecue is what you guys do. That's why you're.
I love tacos.
I love tacos.
I really love a brisket taco.
Over the years, brisket taco with sauteed onions and with butter rub sauteed onions and brisket. I've sold more of those things than before people knew what brisket was, to tell you the truth.
They still don't know what it is.
That
was my UP. At least 3 times a week. What's brisket?
That was my UP fair experience. I had to start handing out little pieces of it before. But once it went.
That's right. Skippy, what are you staring at down there?
Honestly, I'm looking at the reviews for your establishment. Just seeing where, like, what people are saying about food trucks. And a lot of them are saying the food trucks are a hit when they're there.
Yeah, the only semi-negative stuff I saw was when you guys first opened and some slower service, but yeah, I mean, which is to be expected, and I tell my customers to expect that every March when we reopen. So
yeah.
The first stick is always the longest.
It's like spring training for us. It's like, it looks like everybody loves the place, and it looks like a fantastic place, and it's nice, Steve. They get the other side of the story. As much as we complain about not getting into places and not having proper facilities. I mean, we've complained about, I don't know, about every possible thing you can think of for locations. So yeah, it's baffling to me that you can't get trucks, or that you're struggling to get some trucks this year. But
well, I think one of the things you guys brought up is scheduling and people trying to lock down the best schedule they can, and that's kind of telling me to calm down a little bit and not worry as much as I am,
This is the slowest I've gone. So in the years past, I'm booking my lunches and stuff already in December and locking those in. I've really tried to slow down this year to try to make sure that we're getting the best possible schedule and not booking before events get posted and stuff like that. Has been big for us this year because we booked ourselves out of events last year, just by locking ourselves into some commitments. And once I make a commitment, I don't like to back out of it, which I know is also not normal for food trucks. Unfortunately, it's true. So yeah, I would try to be patient. I think you'll probably start having more success towards the end of this month, with trucks getting back to you and stuff once things start filling and they can start filling in the rest of their schedule.
The musicians aren't having any problems getting back to me.
Well,
That's good.
Yeah, I'm probably pretty close to full already on my music schedule for the summer. So.
And that's awesome, and that's something you can promote. Is that, I mean, are you doing music every night? Or...
Well, right now, I haven't done the weekdays yet because I have a couple things planned. I have a cornhole league that's gonna be one night, and I'm not gonna compete with the other people in town. So we're doing the schedule to fit what their schedule is. Same with trivia night. We're going to do a trivia. I went to a beer garden down in Pensacola. The most out of you couldn't tell from the road what it was. But once you got in the back, they had a little brewery, winery, couple food trucks, and 800 to 900 people would show up on trivia night on a Thursday.
Yeah, trivia.
That was their busiest night of the week, was Thursday for their trivia.
Yeah, if there's a bar out there that doesn't do trivia right now, I don't know what you're thinking. Because that seems to be the busiest night at every bar. And for me, that's what I mean. In the winter, I have a group of friends and we go do trivia once a week, and that's the only reason I go to the bar. So
so once I get those two things planned for the weekdays, then the entertainment for the rest. But I've got guys that you can do a full band, and then they always have, or most of them have a way of doing a smaller, acoustic solo with the lead guitar or something like that. So the entertainment's really easy.
And I think that'll be a great selling point once you have all that stuff booked, to let the trucks know that here's what we got. There's going to be people here, just to take some of that precautionary for the trucks out of it. So the more stuff going on at a place, the happier we tend to be, and the less likely it is that we will back out of something, I guess is the way to say it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Sibby.
I was going to say last thing. So I don't know if you know, and you probably do. So I'm just Googling things, right? So I'm just Googling like Bay City food trucks, Drift food trucks. Like if you put things together, you find out a lot of things. There's still some, I don't know if you want to Google it too. There is, like, you personally at Drift, I found on the Great Lakes or gogreat.com that you have Drift Barbecue. Drift Shoreside Beer Garden, staple for St. Louis Q, handhelds, things like that. Is that what you're trying to do with the food truck that's there? Because the Havana Lights is also there.
No, that was the old Drift truck. So that's just an old ad or whatever. Is that a menu posted on the site?
No, it's just it's gogreat.com and then local food trucks and where to find them. Because I was trying to figure out I was just trying to look to see where that, like what other trucks are in the area that you could personally reach out to that are either have a Because what you might need is somebody that has a huge presence in that area to come to you and do some dual marketing.
Mhm.
Somebody that, as good as it is to have a new guy, or because Geno's has only been open, I think, a half a year. I don't know if they were open all last year or not.
I think that was their first year, yep, last
Yeah,
year.
you might need to find somebody that has a great reputation, big reputation, to come out, hang out for a couple days, and help, and basically uh, help them
Bring
help.
everybody up.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it brings people to you, and they're like, "Oh, Geno's is here," and then you have a menu or a map of, okay, here's the food trucks that are coming out this week. Um, there's one in Ann Arbor called Holmes Campus that I frequent at least once or twice a month. That every Monday on every single social platform they possible have, they'll put out who's coming, and then every day they'll put out who's coming that day and what to expect and their menu. I mean, they listen, it's Ann Arbor and they're big on tech. And so I can't say everybody's going to do the same thing, but it might be worth trying to find somebody would be like a really big into the food truck scene and have them come to you. That way they know that you're legit and there's not a lot of guessing, because a lot of other food truck owners will reach out to them and say, hey, how was your experience before I book here?
Right.
So that
Which is
might
fair.
be
Which is fair.
yeah, that might be a good way to start. I mean, when I first started, I asked Josh a whole lot of stuff,
Still
and now
does.
still does, and I feel blessed and humbled and grateful that now I have people asking me stuff that hopefully I'm giving them the right answer. But when you have people that already have a presence, that can only help you, immensely.
And that might be something that you waive a fee, or even you provide a small minimum of a couple $100 to get a big truck in there, um, with a big following in there for a day or two, kind of making an event out of it. And
So there's one in your area that I can recommend because I worked with them in the past. They'll travel too. I think they're out of Flint. D&W Street Eatery. So they basically do,
DMW Eatery.
yeah. I'll message you them. But I have worked with them. I met the owner. She is a hardworking gal, amazing. They've been doing this for a while, but their following is great. And the fact that they traveled all the way to Jackson for a little food truck rally that we had. But they do kind of like barbecue tacos kind of thing. When you said, "Do we like tacos?" Yeah. But they have two trucks and they're very well known. So I would reach out to them and see if they're willing to come, and um, I think that could help you too. Just my
yeah,
opinion.
I would definitely make your first day for food trucks, make it an event. You know, a, a reimagined food truck court, or however you want to spin it. Focus on getting trucks there that day, and then make it
How
as
about I
best.
market it as a rally? It's the first one to do a rally.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You throw the words food truck
spring
rally out.
feast, spring fest, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make it something big, and that the whole community can kind of rally around and get people there. And the more special you can make anything, the more likely people are going to show up. So
Uh,
special.
for what it's worth, anybody that has a trailer versus a truck normally likes to keep their truck attached if at all possible. So keep that in mind, that might take up more space. Like the reason I keep my truck attached is I have a 300-pound generator in the bed of my truck that I don't have any room on my trailer for. So
No, it is a pretty big space, so I don't really see a problem with that. Even holding 4 with trucks attached.
yeah, I think you could do 4 and make them all different. I think you'd have a hell of an event on your hand. Do it and do it once a month. I mean, it's just it's an event. Find your biggest, whoever you think your biggest musical act is, and just do it once a month. And we did one in Jackson that was promoted for a month and a half. It cost us $75 to get in. They had people. It was at the fairgrounds. It was 11 trucks, and every single truck, including the dessert ones, was packed. Lines beyond lines beyond lines. I sold out in 2 hours, and it was a 4-hour event. Like they were turning people away because there was no parking for
Should have
these
cooked
people.
more food, Skippy.
You shut your mouth. It's another topic for another day.
Sorry, we have in our competition world, our other barbecue friends think they know everything about what we're supposed to be doing. So that's always their solution when we sell out.
Yeah, let's cook more food.
And I say, we make the perfect amount of food.
I always listen to a guy who cooks for 6 people, and when I
Yeah, exactly.
competitions are a whole different topic, guys.
And we love them. And the last time I made a $200 brisket for 6 people was never. So
exactly. The other one, the last one to reach out to would be Num Num Ninja. If you haven't heard of them,
They've been there. He's one of the guys that hasn't replied to me at all. So I'll try again, but
well, you just got a brand new toy, so
yeah, he got a brand new truck, so he might be looking for more places, but I know like a lot of people right now are doing the fair, concentrating on the festivals first to try to get those in.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
if anything that happened today, guys, is you made me relax just a little bit about, well, coming from my end, when all I did was Rib Fest, we had to have our whole year planned, whole summer planned, not even deposits. They took the whole show fee. If you didn't pay the whole show fee by March, you weren't getting in that show. And we're talking some shows, 3,500, 4,000. That's why I got out of it. I had my whole a business, brick and mortar barbecue, the whole year in rent tied up in show fees in March. That some of the shows I wasn't doing until the end of August and September, and that was when it first started in the early late first one was 84 in Cleveland, Ohio. But the first 10 years was great. Everything was cash. And I could tell you some stories about changing Canadian money into US and downtown London all day long, $10,000 at a time in duffel bags. But that was the good old days. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, I've heard stories, people saying even before COVID that they were doing $10,000 days on a weekend at a festival. I'm like, are you really though? I mean, I see you're doing $10 sandwiches, and that math to me is 1,000 sandwiches. That's a lot. I don't know how you can push that many through a line in a day, but whatever.
Rib Fest, you're usually not doing too many sandwiches. You're doing, if somebody waits in line for 2 hours to get your product and they don't get at least a slab, they're crazier than you are.
I think the most I have is an hour that I've told somebody that they couldn't get food that they waited for. So. And then they were mad at us for not letting them know earlier that we were running out of food.
Well, when everybody else in the whole festival is waiting the same amount of time, it's it's relevant.
Yeah. All right, Steve, I think we're gonna let you go. We appreciate your insight and letting us see the other half of our world. It's nice. And we welcome any kind of conversation or questions that you have further. It's been good, and we hope that you find some trucks, and we'll put it out there too as best we can to.
No, I'm sure it's going to work out.
Is there. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime, guys. Anytime you guys want to talk about barbecue or anything like that, I'm all day, every day. Even though I'm not cooking it right now, I still live it every day.
It is a lifestyle, and you never are ever done with it. So it's been good talking to you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a good week and a good day, and keep in touch. We'd like to see how your turns out with the truck. So
I will. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Bye.
Yep.
Maybe.
I'm hitting the button.
There he goes. Skippy.
Yeah, he's 2 hours and 8 minutes for me.
Would you do a day?
No. Not unless he gave me a
We are still recording.
$100 minimum. Might want to edit this one out.
Cut that little couple minutes out.
No, here's the thing is, right, so.
Is this recorded or not recorded?
I at this point, I don't care.
Okay.
I think what he's trying to do is really good for his community and for food trucks all around. I just found 30 food trucks in a matter of what, 3 minutes,
I don't think he's having a problem finding a truck.
he's trying to find commitments. And
Right.
I think what he has is when you have, let's put it this way, from what I already saw, is it still lists that there are 2 resident food trucks. And it's not even the one that he has a resident food truck. It's not Gino's, it's the Drift barbecue one and Havana Bites or whatever it was.
He has that listed on the Drift's website.
No, it's listed. So the website I was at it's Go Great Lakes Bay.
Okay, just keep in mind that you don't necessarily have control over what gets posted on other people's sites.
Correct.
Or that you can get it taken off.
Absolutely. I would hope that he would try if he hasn't already.
Yeah.
When I was saying marketing, it's marketing. If I'm Googling, this place and this website comes up, I'm not going to want to go because they already have a resident barbecue truck, according to what it says, if I didn't know. So I think
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I think it's work on marketing a little bit. I think what he's trying to do is fantastic. I think it would be great for some trucks to go, especially ones in the area that are building or have built a good spot, good presence.
I don't know. I don't think it's a marketing issue. I think it's just a information issue. So he just needs to, I think, change the website a little bit. I understand why he has the resident food truck that's listed on the website or Facebook or wherever that is, because he wants people that are going there for drinks to know that there's food there every day.
Yeah, and that's fair.
So it just needs to be updated. It needs to, I think some verbiage needs to be changed to, food trucks every day, and then a different section, interested in becoming a food truck, blah, 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 click here, have a form there for people to be able to submit to get more information.
Yeah.
Spots filling quickly. I really do think that maybe him saying a 4-day commitment is possibly scaring people away. If I was just like you, just looking through at places and someone saw they were looking for a 4-day commitment, I would not do it because I got too many other places I want to get to. At most, it's going to be a day a week for us, So
Yep.
I think it's a great spot. I think it's an awesome thing. And I wish there was more opportunities for that kind of thing. Like I said, if he was over here, I'd be in. In a heartbeat, I would be in for at least a day a week, if not 2.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I got an email about a food truck rally I'm in. Sorry.
cool. Awesome. So are you doing the tri-state food thing? You're doing the one in Howell?
No, it's the one in Marshall.
Okay.
That's the
Is that Calhoun?
yeah, Calhoun County.
Calhoun County, the May 27th one?
Yeah. Coming down
Yeah,
there
that's
for
the
that
one
one?
that she sent me to.
Yeah, come on down.
It's a long drive for me, bud.
You'll make it up.
It's a 3-day event for me. So I got to go the day before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the day before
Why?
to be set up and ready to go. What time is set up? It opens at 11
Setup is at 9.
a.m.
Yeah, so you leave at 7.
When am I doing my food stuff?
The day before, like you do everything the day you do everything the way you do it. Cooking mac and cheese when you get there. You're good. You're good.
That's
Worry about it later.
when you get there. Oh my God. No,
Just worry about it later.
that's May 27th's problem. These people aren't gonna see
Hell, I
you.
just go with May's problem. They're May's problem.
Ugh.
The fee's
typical
not
for the favorite food truck.
the fee's not too bad for that one.
No, 275 is not bad.
The one I just got in for May 20th, so a week before, is 150. And it's 11 to 4.
All right, so we're getting close to an hour and a half here. I want to talk
Yeah.
real quick about something, then we can talk about festivals and stuff next week.
That's fine.
Since that is a big part of what we're doing right now is booking those, and you're seeing some really high fees of $1,000 a day, which is really high. Anyways, so backing up to our year-end stuff and us just using spreadsheets to keep track of all our stuff. I had talked about I have a QuickBooks account, but that it's all jacked up because of how I set it up originally. When I brought my bank account in, I brought it back from the beginning of time, which we had a whole bunch of stuff from before we were open that we were doing test transactions and stuff, and everything was kind of all wonky. So by the time we opened, we were showing a negative cash flow of like $4,000. And it's just been kind of screwed up ever since then. So it's never been real accurate. And QuickBooks won't let me start it over. It won't let me delete the business and restart it. I imagine that's to keep people from cooking books and stuff like that. I don't know, but that's my guess. So anyways, I saw on the food truck training Facebook page, somebody was using Wave. So I signed up for Wave, and their basic accounting is free. So zero charge. I set it up. I brought my bank account in yesterday, reconciled everything. Features are pretty similar to what I was paying for on QuickBooks for $35 a month. Good enough for basic accounting. I haven't done any reporting yet on it to see what that looks like, but I imagine it will be good enough for tax purposes and CPA when I get to that point. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up there that if you are just using spreadsheets, Wave might be a good option for those people that don't want to spend extra money on another subscription when we're getting nickel and dimed everywhere else. So my 2 cents on Wave.
Sounds good.
Do you have anything, Skippy? What's your this week look like?
What's that, sir?
What's your this week look like?
I'm getting a haircut tomorrow.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah. I've had
You would think with us being off most of this time that we would have more time to take care of ourselves.
I really wanted to actually dig the food truck out and take it out, but I'm pretty much booked.
Dig it out? Is it buried?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
I did sign up for our first barbecue competition of the year.
I saw that. I found that interesting.
I'll always do that when it's close to home.
I'm happy for you. No, taking a weekend off to go do that is I'm happy for you. For me, it's
What's interesting though, right? So the funny part is where they originally had that competitions was in a park,
Mhm.
and it was coinciding with the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue event.
Yep.
And I always wanted to do that one, and now I can't because I can't compete because they moved spots. And
Yeah.
I did find out from one of our friends, Hog's Backyard Barbecue. He did it last year, and he cooked way too much food. It was like I think he cooked like 200 racks of ribs, and a lot of chicken too.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk about fees next time, but I just came across another one. I got an application for it. It's at kind of like it's a summer festival, so it's August 12th, 13th, and 14th. 10 to 8 on Friday, 10 to 7 Saturday, and it looks like 20 a.m. to 5. So 10 to I think it's 10 to 5 on Sunday. My trailer is 24 feet long from tongue to tail. So I need a 10 by 30 spot. It's $2,875. Now, I looked, it's one of those Zap applications. Have you ever heard of Zap?
No,
So it's like an artist group, artist website where events will kind of sub it to them to get applications going. So I pulled up their website for this thing for artists, because it's like an art festival too. It's $660. So needless to say, I won't be headlining that.
$2,800 is a big hole to start in. I mean, plus food, so you're probably $1,000 in food.
And what pisses me off
Plus
even
labor.
more
There's
is
$500.
so they have a restaurant application too, because it's downtown. They have other restaurants, right? And for a 20 by 50 tent, okay, so I need a 10 by 30 spot, but for a 20 by 50 tent, it's $1,500.
Well, it's because they're trying to make it for the restaurant so that they're trying to make it better for local people.
Like shit, I'll bring in my own tables. I won't rent them from them. Anyway, sorry. I just there's a lot that I've come across, because this is my first year actually really going out and finding festivals, because I didn't think I was ready until I did my first one in September, and it went pretty well. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Let's figure out something
No, you're
else.
good. I think I'm sticking to the smaller ones like the Granville stuff, and that we're
Yeah.
well suited for it and we do well at them. So
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I think I might, Ann Arbor, there's some art fairs I'll go to, but
yeah, I think that stuff is perfect,
yeah.
and we might even try a car show again. The one we did was in 2020 and it was horrendous. Granted it was COVID, but car show people don't care about COVID. I don't know if you know that.
No, they care about their cars.
They do. There was a ton of people there and nobody was eating. So I don't know if it was just that one or what, but if we do another car show, it'll be we'll sell out if we're any sort of kind of maybe busy.
Yeah.
We won't bring much food. So yeah, we can talk about Festa, all that next week. How are you doing on your goals for the year? Have you handed out any flyers yet?
Yeah. But I'm not booking office parties. I'm booking open houses.
That's good. Hey man,
Which is good.
book whatever you can book. Yeah, I'm gonna do an ad here this week for open houses and office parties and stuff like that. Just did we had a post yesterday or a couple days ago for hiring somebody, because Pam's gonna be leaving us in a couple weeks. So need to get her replaced, and we'll need some people for the summer, hopefully.
So you're saying she's replaceable?
Never. But that vacant spot on the trailer needs to be filled, so.
I'm 14 followers away from 1,600.
Good.
Did you pass your goal
No.
already?
I have not. We did cross the 9,900 mark though.
Oh, well, I ran an ad again, so see how many I can get.
I don't know where, I can't even find my thing.
Come on, guys. I need your help. I don't want to work on this trailer again.
That's not what he told me yesterday.
Well, yeah. So I'm bored at home.
He asked if I was interested in franchising. What
Well,
would it
you could
cost
be
to
the sweet
rebrand your trailer?
You could be the Sweet Rex. I can be the Smoking Butts.
I am at 9902, so I need another 98 to get there. So, and then my further goal is because on our Smurl, our little light counter, we're actually a couple hundred behind what it shows on the Facebook page. Because the Facebook page, when you go to it, combines follows and likes, because it used to be two different things. So I'd like to be at 10,000 by the time we open for barbecue season on the Smurl rolls. I really need to get like to 10,200. Which shouldn't be a problem.
Mm.
most of that is all organic at this point, so even better. All right, Skippy, let's wrap this up.
Blah, blah, blah.
It has been fun as always.
Taco's doing okay.
I haven't heard otherwise, so
Well, that's cool.
I appreciate.
Well, you're the emergency contact and they're not trying to ring your wife off the hook right now.
Nope, it's all me. So I have not gotten any phone calls or text messages yet, so I'm gonna
Good.
guess they haven't even seen him yet. So
Good.
he's probably running around chasing other dogs and not acting at all hurt. So I'll get charged $100 for an office visit. That turns out he's fine, just like bruised his leg or something.
That's how it works.
Gave himself a Charlie horse. Yeah. Find us all where we are on Facebook and Instagram. You know the places by now. I did do a cooking video, but I may have forgotten to hit record at a couple of points. I don't know. I haven't tried to edit video and stitch it together yet, so we'll see if that actually gets up or not. Other than that, keep looking for new content from us. We are trying to grow this thing and give you guys the best.
I also did too.
Yes, you did?
Yes.
Cool.
Very-
Trying to give you guys
very
the
Very small. Very
best
small.
information and best value. So our goal here isn't making money. It's kind of just getting information out and having discussions about food trucks and stuff and furthering that culture. So keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting. This is all your guys' show. Surprisingly, we haven't run out of things to talk about yet. So
Oh yeah.
stay tuned for more. We will have more guests coming up. Skippy and I are pretty excited about some of the people he's gotten. So food truck culture, barbecue culture, marketing culture, all that stuff is real big and real is coming at you guys. So thanks for listening. Have a great day. Have a great week. Skippy, have a good week.
You as well, my friend. Peace out.
Love you all. Peace out. Bye.